When do we need engineers and what do we need engineers for? Because insurance adjusters act like not as experts and they don't take roofers or contractors' expertise. So when do we need engineers?
Yeah, engineers are utilized on my side, on the insurance industry side, whenever specialized knowledge is necessary to evaluate the existence of damage. Adjusters are generalists. Most adjusters see a foundation on Monday, a roof on Tuesday, a faulty toilet on Wednesday, and a fire on Thursday. So they don't necessarily have all the knowledge to understand all building components. So we use engineers to help evaluate damage, just like on the policyholder side, they're used as well. We are using more and more construction consultants to assist us with construction-related issues. So we will bring in an actual contractor to help us understand the construction-related issues. So when we have disputes, there is a role for an engineer, there is a role for a construction consultant, often a real contractor. I go to contractors all the time in the industry and say, give me the real scope of damage, what you would actually repair and what you would charge to do it. These aren't just theoretical guys. These are guys willing to stand behind the work, do it, and say that I will stand behind it at the end. So there is that role. Now, what I've never seen, right, I've never seen in one of my matters, and maybe they're telling them without documents, but I have never seen an insurance company tell an engineer to change an opinion in a report from pay to no pay or something like that. That's never happened in any of my matters. Did it happen in the one scenario with Hurricane Sandy that we're still talking about 20 years later? It did. All right, and those people paid a really high price for that, but I've not seen that. And I'll tell you, if somebody in the room has, all right, you can give me an example of an engineer who has changed his opinion at the request of an insurance company, you should absolutely call them out.
And send it to me. I believe that insurance companies use engineers as a deterrent. They basically parrot exactly what the insurance company adjuster found in the first place. And I say it's a deterrent because here you have a professional engineer with a stamp, and for most policyholders, that's good enough. Because especially in Texas, people are trusting. And basically, how your insurance company performs is a reflection on your decision making. So you're always hoping for the best because you're the one who chose that insurance company. So you want to believe what they're saying, even if, like, okay, if you have State Farm and State Farm next door, their claim's going terrible, you still, for whatever reason, believe that yours is going to be okay. Now, when you get something back from the insurance company that says, hey, your claim's so important to us that we sent an engineer out to make sure that we got it right, and then they believe it. Except those findings were nothing more than puffing and reflecting exactly what the insurance adjuster wanted to come up with in the first place. Now, insurance companies also, I've seen, this doesn't happen as often, but they also bring attorneys into the mix early on too, and all of a sudden you've got a defense attorney acting in the claims process. And for those policyholders that are receiving claims decisions on law firm letterhead, that's a huge deterrent too. They're like, oh, what have I gotten into? All of a sudden there's an attorney on the other side. This doesn't seem fair. They're not working with me. I mean, that's by definition adversarial.
Yeah,
and this isn't supposed to be an adversarial process.
And what I find on my side, you talk about insurance companies bringing in engineers as a deterrent and to parrot what they found. What I find are PAs and policyholder attorneys bringing in engineers as an advocate to parrot what they found. All right, so it happens on both sides, and it's wrong. We should hire fair, neutral professionals to help us get to the right answer. All right, so if either side is going out and bringing in their buddy who they know is going to give them the right answer, the same answer, that's wrong. I agree. All right, but what I see is not that on my side. and I see something different. Now, with respect to defense attorneys getting involved early, I agree it's wrong. Insurance or defense attorneys should not adjust claims. But what we're finding is that when we have aggressive public adjusters involved, or aggressive roofers, and now we have policyholder attorneys who are out marketing to all of you contractors, and I know they've come to you and said, don't hire a PA. I'll do the exact same job for 10%. All right, these first notice of loss lawyers are becoming very common, and it's a problem because if there's a first notice of loss lawyer involved from the very beginning of the claim, then it becomes adversarial. They're lawyers. My client's going to hire a lawyer. So, Chad, do you believe it's necessary for policyholders to have a lawyer at the beginning of a claim before anybody even knows if there's a dispute?
Absolutely.
Good. Thank you for that. And this is a growing problem, guys. And I think you all know several law firms that are doing this. And who loses? The building owner, because they'll never have enough money to fix their damage. So give the insurance company a chance to do the right thing before you start bleeding off the proceeds on everybody else who wants to inject themselves into the process.
And to that, yes, as an attorney, I do have to hire engineers, but it's after the litigation process has already started. And unfortunately, it's one of the things we have to do to prove up causation. And if I didn't hire them, then I wouldn't be doing my job. My job is to prepare for trial and make sure that we are always 2 steps ahead of the other side. And unfortunately, when that happens, it does increase the costs on the case and make it more difficult to settle it earlier rather than later.